Welcome everybody to a brand new video. Today we are going to be doing a review of the new Danny Brown album, You Know What I'm Saying? To give you guys a little bit of backstory, Danny Brown is an artist who I discovered by listening to his Atrocity Exhibition mixtape earlier this year. I am quite new to Danny Brown, and the only other project I've heard from him is Atrocity Exhibition, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, and I actually did a top to bottom of where I gave it a 9 out of 10. I fucking love the record. I think it's fantastic. It's one of the best records I've ever heard. And I believe he did drop something after this, but I didn't actually listen to it because I was completely unaware that he dropped anything after that. I believe in 2018 he dropped some sort of EP or like album or something like that. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong, but he's back with a full-fledged album called You Know What I'm Saying. And yeah, today we're going to be doing a top to bottom episode of this album. Gonna be going through what I think are the worst songs all the way to the best songs, and then at the end I'm gonna give you guys a rating. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. In the 11th spot, I'm going to be putting Shine. I wouldn't exactly say that this is a horrible song, but in comparison to the other ones that pop up on the track list, I definitely do think it's a little bit more underwhelming, and it's not nearly as exciting as the other songs that I have heard on this album. I'm personally not a big fan of the chorus on this song, but the one redeeming factor I will give it is that the pre-chorus is nice, but it doesn't do enough to actually hold up the rest of the song for me. In the number 10 spot, I'm actually going to be putting the closer track, Combat. Again, this song isn't horrible. I think that the first verse and the third verse from Danny are okay. I didn't exactly feel the second verse all that much. The chorus performed by Danny and Q-Tip is pretty nice, but easily the best part of this song is the fourth verse, where I feel Danny brings a different type of energy to this track that I wish he had brought throughout the entirety of it. I mean, the track is called Combat. I kind of wish he brought the energy up a little bit more in the same way that he did verse 4. Overall, I don't think it's that great of a closer to the album, and I felt like it could have been executed just a little bit better. In the number 9 spot, I'm going to be placing Belly of the Beast. In terms of the instrumental, I can say that it's interesting. I wouldn't say that it's good or bad necessarily. I just think it's an interesting type of beat. You know, Danny is known to be a little bit more experimental with his instrumentals. His flow on this track sounds a little bit lazy, but I wouldn't exactly say it's a deal breaker because he does come through with some very nice wordplay. For example, spitting tracks like Oncoming Train, I really liked that. Overall, I thought it was an okay track, but I didn't really think it was anything all that special. In the number 8 spot, I have the opener to the album, Change Up. I think it's a good opener to the album. I felt like it was a little bit of an epic return. The instrumental is really nice, and Danny puts in work over it. In the number 7 spot, I'm going to be placing 3 Tears. I like this track. First of all, in terms of the beat, it's kind of old school. It sort of feels like a little bit of a throwback back to older hip-hop. I love Danny Brown's verse. I feel like the attitude that he brings to this song is fantastic. Really, it reminds me of Guilty Conscious Eminem with an encore type flow. And I know that that sounds like a bad thing when I bring up the encore part, but trust me, I mean that in the best way possible. I could take or leave the chorus on this track. LP's verse is decent, but easily the best part of the track is Killer Mike, and he just absolutely kills this track. He bodies his verse with fantastic lyricism and flow. In the number 6 spot, I'm going to be placing the title track. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, the verses aren't like overly complex or anything, but they still sound really good. The hook is really nice. I like the instrumental, and overall, I just see it as a pretty great track. At number 5, I'm going to be placing Savage Nomad. First of all, I just gotta mention that the beat on this thing is fucking killer. I love it. Danny comes through with some nice wordplay, a nice flow as well, and I love the aggression that he shows at the end of his first verse. An extra note I can add is that I really like the drum solo at the end of the song. I don't know what it is about it, but I really enjoy it. At number 4, I'm going to be placing Best Life. First of all, I want to mention whatever sample he's using for this track sounds incredible and beautiful at the same time. And alongside that sample, there is this sort of bouncy, funky rhythm to it that I cannot get enough. It sounds amazing. All of the verses are great, Danny's flow is impeccable, and it's also topped off with a catchy as fuck chorus. At number 3, I'm gonna be placing Theme Song. I personally thought this was a way better song than Change Up. The instrumental on this thing is just great. It sounds so slick. I love some of the lines that he delivers on this song. My personal favorite being, "The bullet is the lyrics, turn the rapper to a spirit." There's nothing much else I can say about this song. It's just great overall, and on top of that, it also has a catchy chorus, sort of like Best Life. In the number 2 spot, I'm gonna be placing Negro Spiritual. The instrumental on this thing is really unique, and Danny perfectly flows over it, changing his voice to match it. There is a fantastic rhyme scheme. Danny is really bringing his A game on this track. The pre-chorus is really nice and aggressive, and there is a fantastic hook brought by none other than Peggy. JPEG Mafia makes a feature on this album on this song. His singing on the chorus is just amazing. And my personal favorite part about this track comes in verse 2, where Danny is warning rappers and telling them that if he didn't come at them yet, they had a good year. What a badass fucking line. And finally, at the number 1 spot, in my personal opinion, the best song on this album, Dirty Laundry. What can I say about this track? Oh my god, this was a mindfuck. This is my favorite song on the album, and I just can't get enough of it. First of all, let me just get into the instrumental. This instrumental is so fucking experimental. It sounds like very few beats that I've heard. In fact, there's only one comparison I can make. It sounds like a beat that could come straight off of Ganja Sufi's A Sufi and a Killer. I can't think of any other project where this beat would fit. I love Danny's flow on this track, but also some of the lyrics are just hilarious. Once got a hoe, ain't had money for the room, so we did the Humpty Hump in the Burger King bathroom. And then after that line, some drums and snares come in that just add so much to the instrumental beyond what was already being shown. As I said, Danny's flow is amazing on this track, and there are also some lyrics in here that just make me squirm. They are just so fucking gross, but like, oh, I just love it so much. I mean, just give me more. For example, we have "Head was nasty, you'd think she had head lice." Oh, what the fuck? But the way he delivers these lines is just fantastic. I mean, just amazing. I love this track. It's easily my favorite on the entire album. I just can't get enough of that instrumental, man. But yeah, that is the end of the project. We are now finished my list right here, and yeah, I thought this was a really great project. Now, granted, I don't think it was better than Atrocity Exhibition, but that is such a high bar to get over. But I still did think that this was a great fucking project, and I thought that Danny came through with some of his best songs ever. Interesting flows, some great features. I mean, I was surprised to see JPEG Mafia appear. And I just think that this is an incredibly solid album from Danny, and I wasn't really expecting much less. Just based off of one album, Atrocity Exhibition, I could tell that this guy was wildly talented. So ultimately, what does that leave me in terms of rating? And I don't think that it's better than Atrocity Exhibition, as I said, and I don't think it's as good as it. I actually think it's just a tiny bit worse than that album, which isn't a problem whatsoever, because that album is so fantastic. Being a notch under it isn't just going from amazing to horrible. So in my personal opinion, I give this album an 8 out of 10. I thought it was just great. And this has pretty much convinced me that at this point, I should probably go through Danny's other albums and really go through his entire discography and hear everything that this guy has to say, because I've only listened to 2 projects so far. I might go for Old or Triple X, I don't really know yet. But other than that, that has been pretty much it. Top to bottom, Danny Brown, you know what I'm saying, finished. What did you guys think about this album? Leave it in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what you have to say. And without further ado, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date on my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.